Viewers, during the first wave in 2020, Kerala was hailed for its handling of the pandemic. The Kerala model, as it was deemed, was lauded not just across the country but globally, with the WHO, the World Health Organization, marking it out for special mention, viewers, for special mention. But a year later, especially after the second wave, and perhaps coterminous with that, the state constitutes more than 50% of India's daily cases. Its test positivity rate, and you can see these numbers on your screen, is 4 times more than the national average. Viewers, highest COVID deaths are being reported now as a proportion in Kerala. Now, viewers, while the easing of curbs for Eid are a reason, and to facilitate, as the government would say, the state government would say, trade and business are definitely a reason, but a team constituted by the center to examine the problem found that a number of factors have also contributed to the surge. And you can see the findings of the team on your screens. Those are the pointers. The lack of testing, tracing, and isolating patients are some of the more apparent reasons. The question now is whether the Kerala model was hyped, perhaps, by a constituency to boost the prospects of the incumbent chief minister ahead of a very crucial election. In fact, it turned out to be a historic election. In May, for the first time in a very long time, Kerala re-elected an incumbent chief minister. Or was it part of a larger plan to hype the COVID management credentials of opposition states in order to upstage the center to arouse disaffection against BJP ruled states? The BJP claims this, viewers. It points to the Maharashtra model that came and went. It points to the Rajasthan model that came and went. And now, of course, it points to the Kerala model, which is by all accounts, viewers, at least statistically, imploding. But nonetheless, if the answer to these questions is no, then what explains the collapse of the model in the face of the second wave? That's the fundamental question. And to answer those questions, viewers, we have with us today a very informed panel of some very interesting, diverse commentators drawn from both politics and, of course, from the medical fraternity. John Brittas, CPIM Rajya Sabha MP, is with us. Dr. Sambit Patra, National Spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, Chairperson of Nephron, Venugopal Narayan and author from Swarajya Magazine. Dr. Rajiv Jayadevan, Vice Chairman, Research Cell of the Indian Medical Association. So let's ask the most obvious question first of Mr. John Brittas, CPIM Rajya Sabha MP. Sir, why is the Kerala model not being able to, at least on the face of it, live up to its reputation? What's gone wrong in this second wave? Or perhaps, if you really look at the numbers, just a few weeks before really the second wave hit us, what's gone wrong, Mr. Brittas?
Thank you very much for inviting me to this discussion. Me, myself, being a television anchor, would politely advise you that you should have stayed away from a judgment before the conclusion of this program. I was patiently listening to your observations. Your observations were laced with politics, little bit of religion, and also some sort of fore-conclusion. Let me at the outset disagree with you on most of your formulations. Either you are obfuscated with these statistics or you are driven with certain political intentions. please have the patience to hear me. When you concluded that the Kerala model has collapsed, either you haven't understood what is this model or you are pretending to be oblivious about the reality. Let us come to the statistics. I have a request. Please don't be driven by statistics alone if it is in contradiction with the facts. What are the facts with regard to the COVID statistics? That is very important. It's true that the number of patients in Kerala may be half of the total patients in the country. But let us see the reality. What is the reality? We flattened the curve. We made it a point that we would gradually raise it and also bring in the vaccination. Now, with regard to the fourth zero prevalence survey of the ICMR, what does it show? It simply shows that Kerala has managed to prevent this pandemic to the maximum possible. And second thing, you know the details of the survey, which says that the 4-0 survey, 43% of the people of Kerala have developed antibodies. That means the majority of the people have been insulated from COVID. That is the answer to it. Whereas the national average is 67.6%. And this has been consistent. Even in the first survey, we have been 0.33, whereas the national average was 0.73. Obviously, Kerala has been successful to the maximum. Now, coming to the COVID patients, that seems to you a grouse. My dear gentleman, let me just remind you about the statistics. See, we have deployed a modus operandi whereby we go for smart testing. What does it mean? We detect 1 out of 6 COVID patients. We concentrate on those clusters, containment areas, those places where there are likely to be COVID patients. We look for symptoms. And whereas we detect 1 out of 6 COVID patients, you know what is the detention rate elsewhere? I know that you will never say that. The detention rate of UP is 1 out of 100. And the detention rate of Bihar is 1 out of 134. What does it mean? We are finding out the COVID patients. And you are faulting the system because we are finding out the COVID patients. You want the COVID patients to be hidden. You want the COVID patients to perish. You want the COVID patients to be never brought to any sort of serious treatment. This is what you want. That is what I say. You should not be obfuscated with statistics. And now, let us look at the observations of the experts. I know that you will never depend on experts because you went to an uncharitable way of passing a judgment about the Kerala model without even knowing the basics of the Kerala model. What does the experts say? The experts like the famous microbiologist, popular virologist, Gagandeep Khan. She lauded the Kerala experience. She said this is the right way of doing.
Mr. Britas,
this is the right way of doing. You
allow
should
me.
some time to
No, please, I'm not.
Now,
listen to me. I'll come back to you about the observations. Look, for every commentator, every epidemiologist that you're going to quote, there are 3 on the other side. So let's not, you've talked about certain facts. Let's discuss the facts. I will, first of all, thank you for saying that my introduction made observations. These are your words, observations. I didn't pass a judgment, sir. I only observed what people are saying.
No, you went for judgment.
The Indian Express, the Times of India. Allow me, sir. I didn't interrupt you. I didn't interrupt you, sir. Please have the courtesy.
I have been this television and journalist
sir,
for
please,
last 30 years.
Please, I beg you to give me. I beg you to give me 2 minutes. I beg you to give me 2 minutes. That's all. After that,
Please
sir, you can become the anchor of the show. No problems. Okay. So here it is, sir.
No, I would
There are
want
at
to become
least
an anchor of the show.
Yes,
just to
and
show
you
how
spoke
to
for
anchor a
no 1
program.
second, sir. Just Mr. Britas, you're not allowing me to put a point forward. I'm not an underprepared anchor. You have spoken for 8 minutes by the clock.
Sir, the floor is yours.
Give me
You
2
can
minutes.
Go ahead.
Allow me, sir, please. Number one, sir, 52% of India's daily caseload comes from Kerala. These are observations, not judgments. You yourself said that I made observations, so you cannot accuse me of passing a judgment. I've asked 2 questions and I've said, if not, why has the model not delivered? Why is Kerala showing so many cases? You say that the seropositivity survey shows that only 43% of Kerala's citizenry, which is a fact, has antibodies, but an overwhelming close to 60% don't. And therefore, sir, I would have assumed that the state would have been very careful when it decided to open up for whatever reasons, whether it was to abet the Eid festivities or to allow traders to make money. But you came up with a weekend lockdown, which you are resiling from yourselves. I am not resiling. You have realized that that was a mistake because you allowed people without antibodies, without being vaccinated, out into the streets to do what I don't know, to appease whom I don't know. You held an election where your chief minister held
please
rallies
understand,
without masks, and when he was questioned, allow me, let me finish. I've got only 1.5 minutes. I only spoke for 90 seconds. I have still, sir, 30 more on my time. Your chief minister showed up and we asked him a pointed question and he said, there is no COVID in Kerala. Please don't ask me these silly questions. Why, sir, did he hold massive, mega public rallies? I want to ask you, if 60% of your population had no antibodies, why? Why didn't you set the bar high by saying, my chief minister is not going to go out and I will force other political parties to do this? Why did you allow for Eid festivities when even the Supreme Court pulled you up? I didn't pull you up. I have 10 more seconds. Supreme Court pulled you up, sir. Supreme Court pulled you up. Now, should I read out the Supreme Court statement? Respond to what the Supreme Court said. Supreme Court statement says, and very clearly, okay, so you doubt the Supreme Court? You doubt the Supreme Court?
No, see, you
doubt
are
the
just
Supreme
reading out,
Court?
quoting something. I am unable to even see you because this is a recorded program, I presume so. And you made an observation saying that the
SC
Chief
rapped
Minister
the
of Kerala
Kerala government for
said that
bowing
there
to
is no COVID in
traders'
Kerala.
pressure
Did
by
the
granting
Chief Minister of
relaxations
Kerala-
ahead of
I
Bakr
agree,
Eid, saying that it shows the sorry state of
we as a
affairs.
state-
The
we as a
Supreme Court
state-
said this, Mr.
we as a
Britas,
state
not Rahul
balance-
Shiv Shankar.
We as a state, please listen to me.
No, 1 second. You tell me, why did the Supreme Court call it a sorry state of affairs? Why did the Supreme Court call it a sorry state of affairs?
See, I
You
will tell
tell
you
me
one thing.
this.
See-
Answer me this question.
No. I will tell you, please don't, I will tell you, blow out certain 1 or 2 observations. You will have to look at the wholesome way. You went
1 or
on
2
to
observations.
Make your observations.
Supreme Court of India
on the
is
basis
not
of
1 or
statistics.
2.
Please listen to me. I am doling out certain
Okay.
statistics.
Anyhow,
to you.
Mr.
I am
Britas,
doling
you've
out
had your
certain
say. Let me open this
statistics to
up.
you. For us, the
We direct Kerala to give heed
is
to
the
Article
precious-
21,
the
read with
precious
Article 144 of the Constitution of India and follow our orders given in the Kamar Yatra case. Kerala
Either-
did not do it, viewers.
either you want
They
to
didn't
go
do
on
it
or
during
you
the
want- you
elections.
don't want to listen
They
to me.
threw 60%
You
of their
had
population
raised-
to the
you had
wolves,
raised so
to the
many
COVID
questions
wolves.
and you should allow me
Even
to
when
answer them.
60% of their population did not have antibodies, and Mr. Britas, who says he's a journalist and he speaks the fact and the truth, is today dismissing the Supreme Court as 1 or 2 observations,
let me just tell you
trivializing
one
the
thing.
highest court
You
in the
are
land.
again
Mr. Britas,
you are again
not expected
going
of you,
on
sir.
and saying that we have opened up. Let me just tell you one thing. We have a policy of balancing the lives and livelihood of the people. Like elsewhere, like anywhere in the world, we will have to take the risk. And second thing, when you say that The
Like America?
67% of the
Like
people are
Trump's America,
vulnerable.
sir? Or
You see
Biden's
the-
America?
you
You
see
tell
our
me.
side.
Which one do you
That
want to
means
pick?
We protected the people from the first and second wave. Whereas
Right.
Other states couldn't protect.
Sir,
You are not concerned with the
A report prepared-
underreporting of the deaths elsewhere.
okay.
You know.
Okay, fair enough.
You know what are
Fair
the
enough.
studies.
I'm not going to
Singapore
argue
Government
this point
Development
more with
Studies,
you, sir.
Which says that the death in
Okay,
India.
I am
will be
only
something
pointing
like
out what the
4
Supreme
million.
Court said.
We are
Maybe
not
the
concerned
Supreme
about
Court
it.
judges,
And for us, it's a
maybe the
conscious
Supreme Court
decision of the
judges
state that we
trusted
need
the
to
Kerala
ease the
government too much.
restrictions
I
to
don't
ensure
know.
that the livelihood of the people are
Okay.
protected.
Okay. Right. Fair enough, sir. Fair enough. When Mr.
You allow
Modi
me
said
to
that,
answer
you
or
abused
you
him.
really want to discuss
That's
it?
okay. But when the Kerala Chief Minister says it, then it is a virtue. Sir, pick your battles. Don't come to times now underprepared. I come with facts. And I'm quoting the Supreme Court in all earnestness. I want to open this up. I want to get the Bharatiya Janata Party national spokesperson. Let me bring in Dr. Sambit Patra. Dr. Sambit Patra respond to Mr. Britas. Mr. Britas says that you people are malign. You people have a bias against Kerala. You are producing fake news to destroy a very effective model that people like Dr. Kang and company are upholding. So, Dr. Patra, respond.
See, Rahul, first and foremost, you have to tell the CPIM spokesperson that this is not Rajya Sabha. He should not disrupt over here. This is a well-meaning debate, so he should behave and he should listen to everyone else. Otherwise, we cannot adjourn a debate. We can adjourn the Rajya Sabha. Thank you.
Prop up any argument.
Please, sir, please. This is not the parliament, sir,
Britas,
that you can
I've
hold the
given you
parliament to
12,
hostage.
15 minutes
This
on
is
the
a well-meaning
show.
debate. Show some
Please,
courtesy to listen to others
let's
as
not
well.
do this. You have made 4
Thank you.
points. Let me, 1 minute.
Rahul, this is a very
Patra, let me,
important
one
debate.
second, let me just step in. There are 4 points that John Britas has made. I am not paraphrasing him wrongly. Number 1, he said, Mr. Britas, give me 30 seconds. It's very difficult to do a debate when there are 4 other people, and if you are going to constantly step in, you need to give me 30 seconds. Please, sir. You're an anchor. You know the art of how to deflect, and you're smiling also, so I understand that for you perhaps this is, some sort of a game, but it's not. This is a very serious issue. We're still a democracy, we still speak, and we can speak over each other, but at one point it becomes noise, and I don't want to encourage that. So please forgive me for interrupting. John Britas says that we are looking too much at facts without looking at the real stories behind the numbers. He says that we are being malign, we are passing judgment. He says that lives and livelihoods have to be balanced. And fourthly, most importantly, he said, viewers, that the Kerala model is still effective, it is still working, and it is a great, great example for others. Okay, 4 points. I don't think he has a quibble with what I've said. Now, Dr. Patra, your response, sir.
See, Rahul, this is a very important debate because of the sense that the world today is watching towards India, and we are afraid because of the fact we are apprehending that are we heading towards a third wave? So this debate, in fact, is an eye-opener for most of the people. We should be serious about it. Has Kerala model, in fact, really crumbled? I firmly believe that there was nothing called as a Kerala model. It was a manufactured model, as the communists mostly do. And as we are heading towards, quote unquote, the third wave as well, still the BBC etc. maintain that the Kerala model has done what the Indian model has not. Remember, presently astonishingly, by and large 50% of the caseload of Kerala of India is contributed by Kerala. The case positivity rate of Malappuram is a whooping 17.25%, highest in India in fact. So there's nothing called as a Kerala model which has been protecting people. 2 important points that the spokesperson for the Kerala government spoke about was the sero surveillance, and the second thing was more testing being done. Let me debunk them scientifically. Look, as far as the sero surveillance is concerned, the most recent one, it is a non-representative one. It had only tested 70 districts in India, and most of the most affected districts in India, including the 2 most affected districts in Kerala, that is Kozhikode and Malappuram, they have been left out. So we cannot say that as far as sero surveillance is concerned, that is a representative figure, and we can abide by that figure. It's a non-representative figure, number 1. Number two, you cannot move both ways. You cannot say, which Kerala government has been saying, that look, we have been quite protective about our people. We have protected our people in Kerala quite well. And that's the reason as to why the sero surveillance shows that the antibodies which has developed in Kerala is quite less compared to what it has been in India. Abysmally low 43%. And then in the same breath you conclude by saying that since this sero surveillance shows that we have developed less antibodies. That's why we have more cases today. You cannot have it both ways. That we have protected the citizens of Kerala and that's why the antibodies level is less. And then you say, since the antibodies level is less, the case prevalence today in Kerala is more. Both of them would sound as an oxymoron. Secondly, their presumption and their projection that it is more of testing which is putting Kerala in the pedestal that it is presently putting it in is absolutely flawed and wrong. Remember what is the WHO guideline? The WHO guideline categorically speaks that a state which reduces its positivity curve below 5%, the cumulative positivity rate below 5% before a quarter of its population gets infected is a positive state. A state's containment and its policies are positive, which is not the case in Kerala. It has not been able to contain its positivity rate below 5% before the quarter of its population gets infected. So as per the WHO guidelines itself, you may be having a huge lot of testing being done, which is also wrong. You have not done a commendable job. This is what WHO says. Anyways, the central government team, which was a 6-panel member team which went to Kerala, has submitted its report. And as I read in the newspapers and in the media, the number of lapses, glaring lapses as far as the Kerala government is concerned. Number one, only 20% of RT-PCR being done. Number two, the containment zones are not well defined. And in fact, there's free movement between the containment zones and the non-containment zones. Number three, as far as the testing, tracing and containment is concerned, right from the very beginning, there has been some amount of flaw as far as the Kerala government's directions towards it is concerned. So right from the very beginning, the Kerala government has been quite unsuccessful. I mean, from 2020 first wave to second wave to today, in fact, Kerala has never shown abatement. It has only shown a rise.
Okay, let me come in here. Let me come in here and let's open this up. I'll come back to you, Mr. Britas and Dr. Patra in just a few moments. There are 3 other panelists. I want to get them in. Otherwise, they will leave the show saying that they're being ignored. So I want to bring them in. Dr. Bagai, look, I'm just reading out to you certain facts. Dr. Bagai, let me ask you. This is what the Supreme Court said. It said that, and feel free to disagree with the Supreme Court if you want, Dr. Bagai. It says that by giving into pressure, the state government bowing to traders' pressure by granting relaxation shows a sorry state of affairs. It's a shocking state of affairs that the Kerala government has given in to the demand of traders to relax lockdown norms. Can't quash the Kerala government notification. The horse has already bolted. Which horse? The COVID horse. So even the Supreme Court knew by lifting the relaxations or the curbs, you are going to give impetus to COVID. And that is precisely what is happening. People are dying in the state. There's no call for accountability. The other parts of the country, Dr. Bagai, are seeing a recession in cases. And a central team has come out and said that there has been no active surveillance to detect cases. Case contact ratio is abysmally low at 1:1.5, should be 1:20. Lack of contact tracing resulting in undetected pools of asymptomatic cases. Week on week average daily testing showing a downward trend, so the testing less also. Restrictions and triple lockdown had limited impact on transmission. Containment and micro-containment zones not as per centre's rules. And on top of it, Mr. Britta says, hey, we did a great job. 60% of our population is got no antibodies, which shows that we prevented the transmission, which is a fact, can't argue. But then why lift all the curbs? Why throw caution to the winds? Why, most importantly, dare the Supreme Court which said this is a sorry state of affairs. Dr. Bagai, what do you think?
Thank you for having me on the show, Rahul. My regards to everyone on panel and all the viewers. So let me lock horns straight on scientific facts with my colleague from CPIM. There is no Kerala model. I'll be very happy to engage with him one-to-one and lock horns at any point of time, any place, any location. There is no Kerala model. There is an India model which follows international guidelines which have been stipulated by the government of India through ICMR. I don't want any state to say it is it is me, it is us. That's extremely important to understand. Now, there is overwhelming and abundance evidence that many things have gone wrong in Kerala. Now, let me explain to you, we are dealing with 4 pandemics, Rahul. We are dealing with the original strain. We are dealing with this huge new dark enemy in a dark alley known as the Delta strain, which is 97% immunodominant worldwide. We are dealing with a hidden pandemic known as long COVID, which no one is talking about now, and it is going to add hugely to the global disease burden, including India. And now we are dealing with infomedic, that is misinformation being streamed around all over. Let's come to the main core facts with hard statistics to my friend from Kerala. We have 3 parts to this equation: the host factor, the virus factor, and the environmental factors. Let me tell you about the host factor. Host factors are largely vulnerable because they are largely still unvaccinated or they have 1 vaccine done. We are dealing with the Delta strain, which requires 2 vaccines done in a stipulated time period. Come to the environmental factors. Knowingly and willingly, I don't know under what pressure, be it political, religious, or socio-economic, you have allowed super spreader events to happen against the direction of the internationally accepted norms, including the Indian norms and the Supreme Court directive. The super spreader events are #1 cause of creating havoc. 87% attack rate. 1 index case as a super spreader, silent super spreader, can get 85,000 secondary contacts in 14 days over 10 layers. These are known facts. We know that this is airborne as a disease, especially the Delta strain. It travels more than 60 feet. Even 15 seconds of what is called as a fleeting contact in a mob, in a crowd which is nameless and faceless, is already lit the bushfire. I will not say the person bolted, the bushfire has been lit. Now let me come to what exactly this happens, why it happens and how it happens. The real issue now is that you have relaxed on an unscientific basis for certain reasons and then given a completely band-aid, superficial kind of weekend lockdowns which make no sense. This is absolutely bizarre. Come to the viral factor, the last and the most important factor. Rahul, I'm quoting facts through 3,000 international publications. If my friend wants to contact me, I'll be very happy to give him all the data, including the references and the authors and co-authors and the dates of publication. The Delta strain, which is killing Indians and worldwide citizens, is 1,260 times more carrying a viral load on day 1. It is 225 times more transmissible. It is an R0 carrying now of 8 versus the original strain of 2 to 2.5. It is as contagious now as a smallpox or chickenpox. This is serious business. And if you don't deal with it seriously, we are seeing deaths on hand. Who's accountable? The Kerala government is accountable. No 2 questions about it. It is causing a 6 to 7-fold vaccine escape, 8-fold neutralizing antibodies escape. Rahul, the replication time of Delta virus is from 8.5 days down to 3.5 days. This is causing 287% increase in hospital admissions and ICU admissions. This is causing
yes, sir, you can
damage.
After he finishes.
Right. Now, when you are having a population which is largely unvaccinated, your chance of testing positive is 5 times more. The chance of hospitalization 200 folds more. The chance of death 1,000 times more. Why on earth will any government open up for any reasons and then suddenly close down to make to feel good? This is completely ridiculous. What does it need to do? Aggressive testing.
Okay.
How they're going to do contact testing, contact tracing in an unknown mob, I don't know. But they need to do it very aggressive vaccination and more importantly, genomic sequence. It's not the horse. The fire has been lit by them.
Mr. Rahul?
Okay. Dr. Jayadevan and Mr. Venugopal Narayanan, you have to wait because Mr. Britas wants to respond and you know that he's going to take some time. So Mr. Britas, respond while we make 2 other panelists wait so that, sir, you can satisfy your need to speak and interrupt. Go ahead, Mr. Britas. Let's make 2 other panelists wait.
No
problem.
It's not the case.
Sir, you're the Lord, you're the member of parliament, you're the master,
Rahul,
sir.
Rahul,
you're the master. Go ahead. important guy on the panel.
No, no, Rahul, please.
Gentlemen,
I mean, your
allow the
adjectives
important
are
man on the
taking more
panel to
time
speak.
than my observations.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Britas. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Adjectives
Go
are
ahead.
taking more time than the actual observations.
Go
Let me
ahead,
just tell
sir.
you
Go
one
ahead.
thing.
Go
The
ahead.
two experts
Go ahead.
who spoke here are completely blind with regard to the bungling of the vaccination that has been done by the central government. Completely oblivious about it. How the central government was sitting on this vaccination for 6 months without doing anything, and how they bungled it. And now they are talking about the aggressive vaccination that is required in Kerala. They don't even utter a word about the fact that though Kerala can provide 5 lakh vaccination per day, or we can enhance that, the way in which we are struggling to get the vaccines, they are oblivious about it. That's the funny part. And the way in which they created a vaccine policy, which was bunged by the Supreme Court, and whereby they had to take it back and amend it. Even after amending it, 2 central ministers, including Mr. Piyush Goyal and Mr. Mansukh, they commented that the 25% research for the private hospitals has been something which couldn't work, and they actually criticized the private sector. We have been right from the day, we have been telling that there should be free and universal vaccination. Right. Now they are talking about vaccination, what the state government has to do, all these things. Let me just come to this point. Look, when we talk about the dangerous aspects of the fatality of this pandemic, naturally, there the facts have to be spoken. Rahul, when I told you about the facts, I said you should not be overdrawn by the statistics. Let us talk about the facts of the death. And these are the details which have been told out by none other than the government agency itself. See, the fatality rate in Kerala is 0.49%, whereas all India average is 1.37. Was there a hangama when people were virtually killed? I will call it killed, or people were dying. Lakhs of people were dying without oxygen. And is there a single death in Kerala on account of oxygen shortage? No. Now, even now, our priority is to see that we test smartly so that bring out those people who are vulnerable, susceptible to this COVID pandemic. It's not a random testing which is going on. I narrated the incidents whereby what are the situations.
So you're testing smartly.
Okay, please allow me.
Sir, with a test positivity rate. No, 1 second, sir. We've allowed you so much. You're the only person speaking and you're preparing notes. You have prepared notes as if it's a Rajya Sabha debate. Sir, you're stalling the House. Go and speak in the Rajya Sabha. Make pithy points. Please. We have limited time. This is a TV show. This is not the Rajya Sabha. Allow me.
I need to tell you when
Positivity rate is 11.3%. Allow me, Mr. Britas, take a follow-up question. Allow the others to speak.
When I am a panelist, I need to
tell okay, sir. आप बोलो, sir. आप बोलो. बोलिए, sir. बोलिए, sir. You speak. You speak.
That happened because
speak.
of the oxygen shortage.
No. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Want me to
go
say
ahead.
that?
I mean, look. Who are we kidding here, sir? I mean, who are we kidding here? Who are we kidding here? Your positivity rate is 11.3%, 4 times the national average. Contest this. Am I right or am I wrong?
That is almost.
Is the positivity rate, sir, is the positivity rate, Mr. Britas, 4 times the national average, yes or no? Can you answer this? Is the positivity rate 4 times the national average, yes or no?
There are multiple reasons for that. I can answer you if you allow me 1 minute.
I don't care about the reasons. I'm asking you, is it true? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes. What is wrong
is the positivity ratio 4 times? Yes. Okay. Now, why is it, sir? I've got your state point of view. 1 minute.
For smart testing. That is
1 second. Random testing. You're not testing enough, sir. With a state positivity rate of 11.3%, you should be ramping up testing. Or testing is coming down.
2 lakhs tests a day. Almost 2 lakh tests a day. It's
sir, every statistic, every newspaper is not lying.
And secondly,
is not lying. Please, don't be defensive. The Supreme Court in India doesn't lie on record.
To find out the COVID patients. It's not to bring. It's not.
Sir,
to bring
look,
down the
this is
number of
not
COVID
this.
patients.
Look, 1
And
minute, please.
even with that,
Don't be
even with
don't
that,
do a
half the
disservice to
facilities
those
in
who
our
have passed
hospitals
away,
are
sir.
vacant.
Please have a heart, for God's sakes. Positivity rate in Mallapuram, viewers, is at 17.2%.
Cryptic comments. No. If you want to raise the temperature.
I am not making any cryptic comments, sir.
Some remarks.
I'm only
some masala items, so we
talking
can go
about
ahead.
the Supreme Court's
I just
observations.
said that
Those were
we
not
don't
my
want
observations.
people to die. We don't want people to die. That's why we are going for.
Well, they are
smart
dying.
testing.
They are dying in your
We are
state.
not going for.
They are
rapid
dying
testing.
in
We
your
are going for
state,
smart
sir.
Testing. 1 out of 6.
They are
COVID
dying in
patients
your
are
state,
detected.
and the numbers
Where
are
it is
there
1 out
on
of
every
100 in
newspaper.
UP. It is 1 out of
I don't know, sir.
134
Maybe in your
Bihar.
state
None
control,
of
some
these
newspapers,
experts-
they don't
none of
reflect,
these
but
experts have any
this is a
concept of
fact.
that.
Okay, let me ask the other experts.
You don't have anything about
Sir,
that.
you have
will
debunked
never
one
talk anything
very
about the
reputable
vaccine.
expert.
You will never
He's
talk
a
about the pumpkin that can
he's a
happen.
leading doctor.
You will
You've
never
called
talk
him.
about
You've
the
called him.
people who have died out of
You've dismissed
oxygen
him.
shortage.
Why should I listen to a member of parliament,
You will
sir?
never
1
talk
minute.
about
Wait.
that.
Let's get the others in. Let me get the others in. Venugopal Narayanan. Venugopal Narayanan, everyone here is a liar. What is your point of view, sir? I'm not even going to ask you a question. I'm just going to say, give your point of view.
Very simple. There is no Kerala model, first of all. Secondly, if you look at these numbers which John Brittas is talking about, rate of detection 1 in 6 cases, does he even understand that that is actually an indicator of administrative inefficiency? Because if you plot cumulative positivity and not the test positivity, not TPR, if you plot cumulative positivity against tests per million, they say that they've been doing great testing. It shows that Kerala has actually been testing for testing's sake and not to contain the epidemic. Do these people even understand the statistics they're putting out? I can go on. Higher tests per million is not some sort of achievement as these uninformed apologists are making it out to be. Rather, it's a mark of failure. Secondly, what is all this about maintaining a plateau? Who in their right senses would want to maintain a plateau? Is this some sort of surreptitious effort at achieving herd immunity? John Brittas should answer.
67% of the people
Answer, sir.
developed antibodies.
Simple, straightforward
Was it
question. Has
because
it
of the
left you?
vaccination?
Please.
It was because of the spread of the infection, spread of the disease, spread of the pandemic. You didn't have any issue with that other states when they had that spread, super spread.
So keep people home.
Now you talk about
Keep people home.
I'm asking you about
Make sure there is
cumulative
proper
positivity versus
isolation.
tests per million.
You never had an issue with the 67% of the people when they were infected with this coronavirus in other states, national average.
We took a very strong position against any super spread event. Now don't change the goalpost. Now don't make it political. Oh, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. I'm not running the state of Kerala. Why don't you appoint me? Maybe I could do a better job. I don't know. I'm just being obviously facetious, but clearly, sir, clearly, there is a problem. Now, viewers, listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this.
Everything which I say is not.
I'm going to bring in the IMA representative, Dr.
Government of India, ICMR.
Mr. Brittas.
Which I doled out.
You are not allowing anyone else to speak on this debate. Let me bring in Dr. Okay, let me bring in Dr. Jayadevan, Vice Chairman, Research Cell of the IMA. Dr. Jayadevan, why have we got a problem in Kerala? If you want to define it as such, why are cases going up? Of that we cannot dispute, cases are going up. They are contributing more than 50% to the national average. Why is that happening? Can you give an answer tonight?
Yeah, definitely. I do not wish to repeat what was said here because it'll just take away the time. So I will skip to the areas that have not been highlighted. There is no doubt that there is an active spread of disease in Kerala, and the disease is actually spreading in people's homes, and it is not just limited to people who are unvaccinated, like the Americans would want to say. It is, in fact, a disease of the vaccinated as well. And that's an important message we need to give out to the community, that if you're vaccinated also, you can pick up the disease in your nose and throat and pass it on to your family members and to your workplace. That's fact number one. The fact number two is I'm a man of science, and you can check my Twitter thread for over 7,000 tweets on pandemic science alone. And I don't really keep boundaries of state or country at all. I have a global perspective. So if you look at the spread of pandemic in a part of the world, it is never uniform. It is called a stochastic pattern. At no time, at any point, anywhere in the world has the pandemic affected one entire nation all at once. If you look at Kerala's curve, it has been different. If you look at Maharashtra's curve, it's been different, and so on. So we give these names such as Kerala, Maharashtra, and so on for whatever reason. So I'm not going to get into that. Right now, as of now, in July-August period, the maximum spread of the virus between people is happening towards the south end of the country and along the west coast, and also along the northeastern states. And also, if you look at the neighboring island of Sri Lanka, Colombo, that's the west coast of Sri Lanka, is having exactly the same pattern. So if you look at the trend here, I would take you to what Dr. Bagai, who's my most respected senior, and I follow him very closely on Twitter. We are both people who tweet purely on science. We don't do anything else. So he very, very nicely said there's something called the agent, host, and environment. It's a triad. It's a famous triad for any infectious disease. There's a virus, and then there is the human being, and then there is the environment. So at this time, we need to focus a little bit more on the environment. So what is common between Kerala, southern Karnataka, Goa, coastal Maharashtra, Assam, Tripura, Manipur? These areas are having the highest rainfall and have the highest humidity, and the same with Colombo. We are facing 87% humidity, and it's raining in Kerala as I sit here in Kerala. So we all know that respiratory viruses spread fast during rainy seasons. Why? Because it's a droplet spreading virus. Droplet hang around in the air longer when there's more water vapor. So that is something that we need to address. And during times of high humidity, we need to really take aggressive measures. So that's one. There's plenty of published material on that. Now, the second fact is in terms of how to balance lives and livelihood. That's a tough call. It is really difficult. And a third factor that needs to be factored in here is that we need to also look in at the available resources in the region. So what we follow from the Indian Medical Association side, at least from the part that I am in, we follow how much is the overload, how much is the system being used as of now. So if a region has 100 critical care or ICU beds, we look at a figure of what is the average bed occupancy rate over the last, say, couple of weeks. And we look at the 7-day rolling average, and if it's maintained at a comfortable 30%, things are smooth. But if it starts climbing, you know what? You're in trouble, and this thing doesn't stop like a car. It stops like a train. You got to really take measures 2 or 3 weeks ahead to see any change. From Kerala, we reported a spike in January. It's in the national media. We had a spike in January after a spike in October. Yes, we reported it. The government took corrective measures, and it came down. And again, we had a spike in April and
Yes.
the rest of the nation. Yeah, so that is really what is happening. There's plenty of facts here. But again, these are what I have to say, but I'm not going to repeat what
And
was
let me
all the
put some
statistics
more
that I
facts
said.
down.
Thank you.
Mr. Britas talked about vaccination. Well, almost 45% of the state's population has received at least one dose of the vaccine, viewers. 45% of the state, one dose. About 10% has got the second dose as well. This is much better than states like Maharashtra or Tamil Nadu. But today, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu are trending lower than Kerala on infection rates. So even this big talk about how the center has failed and this, that about vaccination, that is also not working out. You see, viewers, vaccinations are not silver bullets. They allow you to be better fortified against the virus. But it doesn't mean that if you are out there in the street, you're not going to get the virus. And if there are variants that show immune escapability, you might even be struck by the virus and be badly off. So viewers, what is required right now? It is to change the sorry state of affairs, not my words, Supreme Court's words. In fact, there's a petition that has been filed in the Supreme Court, and I'm very glad for that. And what is that Supreme Court petition demanding? Action against Kerala authorities for not obeying what the Supreme Court said. The Supreme Court said very clearly, this sorry state of affairs, that pressures have been allowed to prevail from trader lobbies, etc., and the Chief Minister has taken some very risky decisions. Now, those are returning to haunt him, and hopefully the Supreme Court will look hard. If this had happened, let me tell you, viewers, in any other state, let's say Uttar Pradesh, the chief minister's head would have been on the block. Every opposition party would have demanded his resignation. Not so in our very cleaved polity today, viewers. Very cleaved, very divided polity, where journalists, etc., also take stands and sides. Here, we have been factual. I've had 4 experts, actually 3 experts, apart from the 2 politicians. And they've all told you there's a problem. Now, it's up to the Kerala government to accept it. It's their lookout. It's still not too late. Let's hope they heed. I'll leave it at this, viewers.